You can use the chord shapes that you play when you're comping to create some very solid solo lines. And that link is also useful for developing some other important aspects of your playing that are a little bit less obvious. In this video, I'm going to go over how you find some easy chord shapes and turn those into solo lines, and how you use that on a song, on some common progressions, and also how it works really well for dealing with more difficult progressions like giant steps. My name is Larsen, learn jazz, make music. To show you how easy this is to work with, I'm going to go over some basic chord shapes for Take the A Train, reduce those a little, keep it in the same area, and then show you how you can improvise using those chord shapes. If we take these basic chords and then remove the root, so we only have the 3-note voicings, then we get this. If we take a look at that first C major 7 chord, then it's reduced to this shape. And if you want to make a melody using this, then you're just going to combine this with the notes around it in the scale. So that could be something like, or something like this. And if I do this with the chords that I found for Take the A Train, then I get a solo like this. In this example, I'm still just using the shape to create the lines, and that's also why I'm playing the chord first in the example. So first we get, this is the shape, and then around that shape I have this line. And then because the shape of the C major 7 and the D7 is roughly the same, then I can actually easily turn this into a motif, and I can just play a similar melody using this shape. So. And in that way, I'm sort of making a connection between the line on the C major 7 and the D7. And it's pretty easy to play because I'm just basing it on how the chords are moving. And they're moving in a way that makes it easy to just move a motif from one to the next. So I'm really relying on the strong sound of the chords because I'm essentially just playing the chord and using that as the blueprint for the line. And I'm also using how the chords are moving, so the voice leading of the different chords, to create lines that sort of connect well and sound good together. And the best way to develop this is, of course, just to see it work on a few different progressions. So here's a basic 2-5-1 with some chord voicings that you're probably already familiar with. On the D minor 7, I'm using the basic shape as an arpeggio, which actually gives me this nice large interval between two of the notes. So first playing the top note and then arpeggiating the shape, going to G7 flat 13, so coming out on the flat 13 here, and then on the C major 7 again this outline, but then just adding one note on the last string. On the turnaround, I'm first just playing the C major 7 shape descending, so going to A7, and here we have this shape. I'm just playing the first 2 notes, and then on the forehand I'm going to D minor 7. That's of course this shape, starting out with the A, moving to G7, and here first the top note, then the lowest note, and then back up to go back to C major. Besides working with more common progressions like Take the A Train, a 2-5-1 or a turnaround, this actually also works really well if you want to create some lines on a song like Giant Steps. And I think the advantage here is that if you're playing something like Giant Steps, then it can be difficult to come up with some melodies that sound more interesting. You get stuck in just playing the chords and the arpeggios. But if you have these chord shapes that you're anyway playing, then it's easier to just get some new ideas and hear some new things, and also stuff that really makes sense when you start playing it. So an example of that could sound something like this. So here I have the chords for the first 3 bars. Everything is kept in the same area of the neck because that's gonna make it easier to make a nice melody. And I'm just playing this B major 7 to this D7 9, G major 7, B flat 7 13, and then resolving to E flat major 7. And the line I come up with sounds like this. So I'm starting with just playing quarter notes, which is nice. On giant steps you can also sometimes just play quarter notes. So first just the F sharp, and that's really just playing this shape. So here on the D7, I'm just arpeggiating the chord actually. So I'm playing first the E, moving to G major 7 again, just playing what's really there, just first a quarter note. Then on the B flat 7, first the G and then just down a B flat major triad, where the B flat is the resolution to the E flat major 7. Easiest way to work with this is to use the 3-note voicings that I'm using in this video. They're sort of easy to work with, the range is also easier to handle. And if you want to check out some more options of different types of 3-note voicings like this, then check out this video where I'm covering quite a few ones, and also how you might use them and how they sound when you use them in a progression.